You're listening to Moviesucktastic.
My check was late, so I couldn't buy any food. I need my money, please.
You are breaking my heart.
It all sounds like some bad movie.
Hello. Welcome.
And hello.
Hello, good sir.
After a brief hiatus to Moviesucktastic.
Brief.
Episode number 140.
4. 144.
I was close.
Close don't cut it.
Horseshoes and hand grenades, my friend. And we're reviewing, speaking of hand grenades, the 1980s vigilante, apparently successful.
Taxi Driver ripoff? Taxi Driver was 4 years earlier, but you get that Taxi Driver ripoff vibe.
But there's a whole genre there that we'll go into as we get into it. That's part of it, though. Yeah. But this was the Exterminator, starring what's his face, the guy from The Paper Chase.
Robert Ginty,
right? Not John Houseman. Although that would make an even better vigilante film.
The father from Can't Buy Me Love. Extra anchovies.
Huh?
Patrick Dempsey.
I'm talking about John Houseman from The Paper Chase.
Yeah, I'm talking about... Never mind.
I was just saying that if it was John Houseman from The Paper Chase as a bloodthirsty vigilante, it would have been a more interesting film.
Yeah.
We take care of criminals the old-fashioned way.
Oh, no.
Burn them.
It wasn't Can't Buy Me Love. It was Loverboy.
Loverboy, yeah.
Loverboy. I love you. That's that movie.
This is one in a long line of starting with Death Wish in 1974. I want to say
73 or 74 sounds right.
Death Wish 74. I was right. I actually made notes here.
Oh, you did.
One in a long. Shut up. One in a long line of.
What? I'm complimenting you on making notes because I did none of that.
One of many vigilante films that kind of got the ball rolling with Death Wish because that was such a huge hit. The Exterminator, which I had never realized before was a hit, apparently was. It cost $2 million to make, but it made $5 million in the theaters, which back in 1980 was actually quite a lot of money. Yeah. And it was, but it wasn't good enough that they didn't wait a few years before making the sequel.
Yeah,
which I had forgotten about until I did my research.
The following year, 81, 82?
I think it's 84.
Ooh, they waited that long?
I think. I got to double check, but pretty sure.
Man. What was it, Robert Ginty? Was he holding out?
I haven't seen it yet, but interestingly enough.
They offered me a role in Star Wars. You're going to have to do better than that. Oh, guess what? You weren't in Star Wars. Okay, I'll do Exterminator 2.
If I could fucking spell, I'd already be able to tell you what year it was made in. There it is, 84. I was right. It's 4 years later.
Okay.
They did that.
That's a long time to wait for a sequel.
Yeah, and not only was he in it, but also Christopher George, who plays the police chief in it, or detective.
Yeah.
He's comes alive? Back. No, he's in the second film, but as a totally different character.
Come on.
Yeah, they kind of pulled a Ving Rhames from Dawn of the Dead to Day of the Dead remakes.
I never watched Exterminator 2. I never bothered.
I've never. I forgot about it. So yeah, Mary Van Peebles is in it. There's a whole thing going on with that.
God.
But yeah.
Come on.
Well, we're getting ahead of ourselves.
Now, my whole backstory with the film, I mentioned it a few episodes ago. was that when I was a kid, I always kept going to the video store asking for.
You were trying to get the Eliminators.
The Eliminators, right? And
right.
the guy just kept giving me this film, because when I saw the Eliminators, the commercial for it, that film had not come out on VHS yet. But because I'm a kid, I don't know that. I kept asking for it at the video store, and the guy, he would just very nonchalantly, he just put it on the table. He goes, "I think that's the movie you're looking for," and it wasn't.
Make them die slowly. No.
So I saw this movie when I was a kid, not because I wanted to, but because I thought it was the movie I wanted. And my father kept renting it because he liked it, even though he damn well knew that wasn't the movie I was asking for. So that's my backstory with that, to refresh everyone's memory.
There you go. Now we're all set.
Now we're all set. You like that?
One of the oddest things about this film is... Robert Ginty is odd in himself because I think The Paper Chase was his big claim to fame. Like, what got him on the map. And then after that, he just started doing all these action films, low budget action films.
Yeah.
And he was like help distributing them himself, and he was getting involved in that aspect, and he made a lot of money on it. But he's really, by typical definition or typical standards, not a good
actor
leading action. No, not a that aside, he's not a really great action lead.
He has the charisma of like daytime soap.
It's
it is the best way I could describe his
walk on daytime soap.
That's the best way I can describe his demeanor, his delivery, everything. And I don't know if now there's an editor in the film. Just to give the pacing in the film is pretty bad, but what's worse is the editing.
Well, now let's get this straight though. Not editing isn't like they didn't know how to edit a film. Sometimes when you say bad editing, it means
it feels the scenes are cut short.
It feels like whole chunks of the film are missing.
Yeah, exactly. It really does. Feels like this is a longer film, like a director's cut with restored footage might actually end up being somewhere around 2 hours.
Yeah, there are like the first time he goes. The basic setup is he was a Vietnam veteran. There's a whole opening war sequence where he's kind of a bit of a pussy.
Yeah.
In comparison to his big black friend, who's played by Steve James.
No, not Steve James.
Yeah, Steve James.
Is it? Oh, it is Steve James. Okay.
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
Steve
of American Ninja fame.
Right. He's his big black friend. And so in the Vietnam flashback, or it's not really a flashback, it's like just a prologue. They're captured by the Vietnamese. There's a very kind of nifty beheading, and
yeah, that was a lot more fucked up than I remember.
Yeah, right?
As a kid. I know I saw it, and I just don't remember being I remember being more traumatized about it now than I was when I was a kid. When he did that, it was like slicing through butter, and it made that goopy sound, like. And I'm like, what the fuck?
It's one of those weird things that, like, as a kid, no matter what, as a kid or as an adult, you know it's fake.
Oh yeah,
there's no question of that. But as a kid, you're like, okay, I know it's fake. As an adult, you're like, I know it's fake, but they went through a lot of trouble to make that as close to realistic as possible, and that's what you hang on, the fact that it's like aiming for that realism. I don't know, it's weird, hard to explain, but I agree with you on that 100%.
Yeah.
But his friend, Michael Jefferson in the film, because you want to go with, the Jeffersons, and he saves everybody. He saves Ginty, Paper Chase guy, and then you flash back to modern day, and they're working at a Coca-Cola distributor, beer distributor, something like that.
Yeah, a bottling company.
Bottling company thing, but they're moving cans. So I
sure.
You see what I'm saying, though?
Sure.
You're right. It's a bottling company, but all you see are stacks of cans. So anyway, there's an altercation with some street thugs, and this is the kind of film. Now,
get it right. Get it right. The Ghetto Ghouls.
The Ghetto Ghouls. They should have a street gang name. And the thing with you mentioned Taxi Driver. There is that kind of we'll get into that a little bit because there's the whole Vietnam vet turned vigilante. That's a whole genre in itself. Taxi Driver being one of those films. I had a couple other listed down. Things like Billy Jack's actually something like that. Vigilante Force, First Blood, which came out a couple years later. So you have that whole kind of Vietnam vet turned vigilante. There's also a subgenre like a Vietnam vet cannibal films, etc. There was a lot of material there to use for horror films and action films. But the reference I'm making is when they first meet the ghetto ghouls when they're stealing beer from the place, and Ginty's or John Eastlund is the character's name. When Eastlund's big black friend has to save him yet again, the one thing that you can immediately see that 1974 Death Wish influenced by is that we're in that kind of weird vigilante movie reality where all street thugs have to have funny hats. It's the Jeff Goldblum effect.
I kill rich cunts.
Yeah. Ever since Jeff Goldblum raped Charles Bronson's wife while wearing a Jughead hat, every street thug in all of these vigilante films, they have to have, the one guy's got like a colonial hat, the other one's wearing a ski hat. That's the red bandana. That's how you identify these guys.
Yep.
So he saves his friend. They go out for a beer at 8 o'clock in the morning. Or they're going to go out for a beer at 8 o'clock in the morning, but the thugs catch up with his big black friend and attack him and paralyze him, almost kill him.
Yeah.
And this is the whole opening. I wanted to get to this to explain the first major issue with the pacing that you talked about with editing. We go from him into the hospital, and I can understand the pacing as far as we go from having him attacked in the alley, then we go to the hospital. That's understandable. That's a very understandable passage of time.
And I know what you're going to bring up too, but it seems to me like the way they paced it, and I'll let you talk about it in a second because I won't give it away. You can do it. But it's like they paced it because it's like, shit, this is only a hour and 25 minute movie. We got to move it along. It's an hour and 45 fucking minutes. It's like, holy shit.
And if they're that concerned about pacing, there's something else that happens later on that I have a big issue with.
Okay.
But so he's in the hospital. He's like, I'll take care of this. Something will finally happen. Talking to his paralyzed big black friend. And then the scene cuts, and the next scene is one of the street gang guys trussed up in a warehouse, and he's lighting a flamethrower in front of him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we missed a couple steps here, didn't we?
Well, well, what's
Where's
funny
the build-up?
well, that's the thing. When I was watching it, I didn't watch it in my car this time. I watched it at home on my big TV because I really wanted to take it in, and I literally turned my head for a split second. I'm like, what the fuck did I miss? I rewound it. I actually rewound it. And I watched it go from the hospital scene, right from that scene back to I'm like, holy shit, there's something missing here. And I don't remember that when I was a kid. I'm like, something's going on. There's like you said, there's like this 5 or 10 minute buildup that just got cut. It's on the cutting room floor, probably never to be seen ever.
It's like from the Anchorman, that escalated quickly, Yeah.
Now, I didn't listen to the audio commentary. They might mention it in the audio commentary, things like that. I didn't get around to it.
Yeah, me neither. I've been very busy, but I will get to that, definitely. But this is the kind of film where actually I'm glad I don't have the audio commentary because the stuff that's unexplainable makes it even more fun. Yeah. And now, here's the thing else I have a problem with. The movie poster is a flamethrower, and he doesn't wear a welding mask anywhere in the film. And
it's not even Ginty in the poster. It's just some other...
The guy in the poster is masculine and strong and intimidating and foreboding. Of course it's not Ginty. And he's wearing like a
but how do they get away with shit like that? How did we even allow it, is what I'm basically saying. How did we allow the poster to not reflect anything in the film other than the fact that he flicked that guy's arm with the flame, and then the scene cuts and you never, ever see the flamethrower again. The closest thing you get to a mask is a bicycle helmet, a motorcycle helmet. That's it.
not only do you never see the flamethrower again, but it brings up the question. Not only where did he get it from, and I make fun of this foreshadowing, like in Savage Streets, but I wonder what's going to happen with that crossbow in the window. But there's a difference between not foreshadowing something and just all of a sudden, yeah, I've got a flamethrower. What of it? And but then we go to his apartment. There's no flamethrower hanging on the door. It's like they don't go. They don't. When the cops get there, hey, I found a flamethrower in the bathroom. What the fuck's up with this? It's just a phantom flamethrower.
And the thing is too, if we didn't meet pretty much every member of the ghetto ghouls, I would say, okay, maybe he burned someone alive and the MPAA had a problem with it, because there is a scene later in the film where the MPAA did have a problem with something and they were forced to blur it out in the film. But you meet everyone in the fucking ghetto ghouls. There's nobody, there's nothing, there's no other scene that could possibly have been cut.
And but he has the guy trussed up, and let's face it, we should have known ahead of time that the flamethrower wasn't predominantly throughout the film. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been called the Exterminator. It would have been called the Flamethrower Guy. You know, I mean, we should have seen that coming.
Wow, yeah.
But there's that jump. It's
a movie about pest control.
And they do that again, and also he doesn't kill the guy, which is stupid because then he ends up having to kill him like an hour later.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, dude, you're a shitty vigilante. But now,
do you remember when I said I'd kill you last? Yeah, you did. I lied.
Now he got the address of the clubhouse for the ghetto ghouls from that guy, leaves that guy tied up, but then goes and kills the other ghetto ghouls.
Right.
Now
he goes there with a gun, with a machine gun.
Yeah, supposedly though, because he drags two of them into the basement and ties them up, and then like he points the gun at them like he's going to shoot them, but then he has a flashback of one of the guys getting shot in Vietnam, and then when he come back, he walks away and the one guy's still moving. I was like, wait, so did he shoot him or not? Right,
and then the next shot is a crime scene where they said, oh yeah, this rat ate this guy's face off, and this guy's puking. It's like, so they're dead.
Yeah,
when did that happen?
Right. And now,
and then that's when you meet the police chief for the first time.
Right. Now, and then the police chief, it's an interesting character in the film, and you always, it's always good to have that, the good cop that that
fellow
doesn't
veteran
play by the rules. Yeah, veteran too. So yeah, you're showing that Breaking Good and Breaking Bad there, and whatever. But we end up spending I'd say a good 15 minutes of the film on dates with him and a nurse.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
For no real reason. That has no real tie to the film. Oh, kind of unnecessary. I mean, him banging the nurse at the hospital allows him to be there when Ginty goes later to put his friend out of his misery. Spoiler alert. But he could have easily just been there checking up on the guy. I mean, he didn't have to have this whole... And it shows a sensitive side to him that I don't care about. It's actually kind of creepy.
Yeah. He goes
bit.
in there and he's just like, blink your eyes twice if this is what you want me to do. And he does. And he's like, all right.
I was talking about the cop dating the nurse creepy, but okay, I'll give you that too.
Okay. He grabs a cord and he's just like, cuts it. Then... it cuts right to the very next scene is cut to him. It's like, to his wife. He's like, I know it's late, but I need to talk to you. Yeah, he wanted me to kill him. That's what he wanted.
The hospital. Didn't the hospital call?
That's what he wanted.
If I was her, it's like every time he comes to visit her, they crippled him. Oh no, he's dead now. I had to kill him.
And then by the time he leaves, she's like all calm. She's like, yeah, you're right. It's like, yeah, it was better. It's better. The kids, all right. Yeah, whatever.
Now, so he decides he has to get money for his big black friend's family.
Right.
I don't know why I keep calling him Big Black Friend, but that's what he is. There's really nothing else. He's only there for that purpose.
Basically, he's his bodyguard.
So he says, I know where to get the money. Again, there's no setup to like, okay, so he's going to case it or track stuff down. No, we just cut to some mobster that's been collecting money from the bottler the owner of the bottling company, and he's having dinner with his gabagoan friends, and he said, I'm gonna hit the hey, we should go take a shit together. What do you think? Yeah, and I'm paraphrasing. He basically says that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I maybe I should drop off the last meal before I have another one. So his bodyguard goes and he goes into the bathroom, and then there's Ginty hiding in the garbage can with a hypodermic, waiting for him to. And somehow he drugs him, somehow gets him out of the bathroom, which they don't explain that part. Don't explain how he knew he'd be in the bathroom.
Right.
And takes him to the guy's own meat packing place because he's a meat mobster. The news actually calls him a meat mobster. I've never heard of a meat mobster until this movie.
Yeah.
And I lived near New York for a long time. I've never heard of meat mobsters.
No. I mean, you think he might have been called a butcher or something, something
right.
A little bit more Italian. I don't know. Meat mobster.
Now, here's one of those weird things where they feel the need to foreshadow some things, but not others. So before this happens, they actually foreshadow a scene. They have a scene where the guy's training his new attack dog for the house. Oh, yeah. Right?
Yeah.
So we go through all that. That's a good 3-4 minute setup to deal with things. Then we're privy to the whole conversation of the government wanting him to lower meat prices that has nothing to do with anything and never comes up again. So it is really it's pointless.
Yeah, they come to him. They don't go to USDA Prime. They go to the meat mobster.
Yeah.
To lower. It's like, why are you even talking to this fucking guy?
You want me to
drop 5 cents? Yeah, how much money I'm gonna lose? Who fucking cares?
Pretty sure it was 4 cents.
I thought
not to quibble.
I thought it was 5.
I don't know, but in my head it's definitely 4. It's not worth.
Well, if the scene comes up, I'll if we get that far in the review when that scene comes up, I'll play it.
The closest this came to a good line is where he's complaining to the guys, don't talk to me about the old days. At least the old days they had decent comic strips. So what? Like he's bitching because there's no Flash Gordon.
That's right. He was reading, and this is the only reason I know this. Okay, the only reason I know this is he was reading the Daily News, and it was in color. The whole thing was in color. The Daily News back then, because my father would buy the Star Ledger, the Daily News, the New York Post. Only the Sunday Daily News came in color. So he was reading I'm just saying, it's just, this is stupid knowledge that I'm just basically sputtering off. Some basic stupid movie knowledge. He was reading the Sunday News from the Daily News. So we're taking a lot of time getting to know a character that we're not going to have to know 10 minutes from now. And we went through the trouble of foreshadowing the dog. He gets the guy to the meat grinder place, puts him over a meat grinder, and says, tell me how to get in your house to get the safe. And if you're lying to me, I'll come back and kill you. And the mobster purposely omits the dog. So, and we know, like, oh, there's that pause where you hear the audience go, oh. So he goes to the house, breaks in, the dog attacks him. He kills the dog with a electric carver. And this is a part where I want the pacing, where I want the scene where he's looking for the safe and everything too, but it just cuts from that. It cuts from that scene of him like wiping his hand off of the meat carver. It just cuts back to the warehouse. He walks up, hits the button, and you just see a pile of beef, which you see before he puts him. In the meat grinder, he turns it on. Yes. Apparently, they just leave piles of meat in these things, which does not make me, makes me even more concerned.
I'm thinking Ginty put in some example meat.
I don't know. I think they're pretty fucking disgusting.
Now
it's just leftover meat.
This is where I want to rewrite this film, because the one thing I thought Ginty should have done to show the degradation of the character was he should have taken the dog with him and thrown the dog in the meat grinder first. Just kind of like, fuck you, and then grind the guy, and like make the guy watch him grind the dog, and then lower the guy in.
Sure.
That's where like another, like you mentioned, we mentioned the scene where he asks his friend if he wants to do you want me to cut your life support? Because I will if you want me. Just blink twice. It would have been great if the guy didn't blink. He's like, okay, I'll do it. And the guy's like, no, what are you doing? I understand. It's your choice. No, it's not. What are you doing? Oh.
Yeah. After he cuts his life support and he goes to tell the wife, she goes, "Oh my God, there was still hope."
Say, no, there was no hope. Cut to the doctor. There was still hope for the guy. I don't know what happened.
I mean, I told him bad news, but it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, it would have been
because
nice
he tells him, he's like, yeah, I heard the doctor's diagnosis. We're not privy to that information.
No, again, no foreshadowing on that part. No foreshadowing, like,
None of it.
Watch it. No, like, just not even him in the background. Deader than a dog, blah, 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 and not chance of hell. Nothing like that.
So yeah, he'd be lucky if he ever walks again. His kids will walk before he does.
Slab of meat, whisper. It's just nothing along those lines. And the pacing, and then like in between these scenes of like random, like seemingly random violence because of that, we go on these long dates with the cop and his nurse girlfriend. So were you in the war? Yeah, I was. Was it good? It was bad.
Not as bad as New York. It was pretty bad. Now I don't know if that was a joke.
It was
if that line was like a joke or
it's one of those half jokes.
It's a bad one.
Well,
not as bad as New York, but it's bad.
The dialogue in the film's not that great. Let's be fair.
Well, yes, this is true.
There aren't any really great lines. We don't even get like little gems like we did from Savage Streets. There's not a lot of originality here. They're just kind of cranking it out. Now we got to talk about the chicken house scene.
The chicken hawk.
Chicken hawk. Well, chicken house because that's what she. That's what
I think it's referred to as the chicken hawk because he buys
a guy's a chicken hawk. The place the girl called a chicken house.
Oh, right. Well, that's what I meant. He's referred to as the chicken hawk.
Yes. Yeah, the guy who we call them pedophiles now. We don't play around with that cute stuff. And that whenever you say chicken hawk, you think of foghorn leghorn, and that's this. You don't want to make those associations to each other. Now,
yeah. You see, I bet it's big cocks on the wall. You see. It's the worst foghorn leghorn I've ever done.
No, I get. Now I'll stick with what we're talking about. So,
okay.
They do the foreshadowing in this, so we know what's going to happen. This is one where we get beginning and the end because and they don't right out of Taxi Driver. You're correct. Ginty walks up to a prostitute comes up to him. He's like, "Oh, how much?" And he's like, so he pays her, and you don't know whether he's actually going to sleep with her or if he's just trying to find out like about the underworld or anything. He plays it too close to the vest, where like you're pretty sure he's not even thinking at all. He's just kind of going, doing whatever happens next.
Yeah,
it's just
although
really
I did get the impression that if everything was normal, he was going to sleep with her.
There's nothing that leads you to believe he's not.
Yeah.
There's really not. It's not like, I mean, Taxi Driver. You knew he wasn't going to. It was just a matter of.
Yeah, he wanted to get, like you said, get some information or figure something out.
And I don't think any of it's intentional in this film. I just think Ginty does not emote enough for you to actually read anything in the way he's just okay. And then I go into the prostitute. That's where I find out. Did he bang her afterward? I bet you he even banged her after he found the burn marks. And the burn marks.
I like them.
And the burn marks come because we have a flashback scene where she's lured to the chicken house by this guy for a client. And then when she gets in the door, and all right, I don't care what your profession is. If you walk into a house that's painted red, and the first thing you see in the doorway of the leather-clad, double-bolted door is a gimp mask with a mouth zipper hanging on the wall right next to the door, you don't go through that door.
No, you leave.
You take a couple steps back and no thank you. No, she walks in, la 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 la. John, this should be a fun afternoon. What do you find? This is a nice apartment you have. Why is there plastic on the walls? It's just.
And when they throw her on the bed and they open her shirt, she's not even tied down or anything. She's just like laying there. Oh, please don't.
Don't skip over the most important part, that the pedophile that wants a three-way with a boy and a young girl is David Lippman.
It is.
Who's the short, geeky, bald guy from, like, what other films has he been in? I gotta...
let's look him up real quick.
He's been in everything. I'm trying to think of, something that everybody would recognize.
The state senator from New Jersey. That's his name. That's his casting name in this film. Holy shit, he was in the remake of True Grit. I don't remember him in that.
I only watched that once. I wasn't a huge fan. All right, I know him from Frankenhooker, mainly.
Well, yeah. Weekend at
once
Bernie's
again,
too.
But Frankenhooker, once again, he's getting a prostitute when you meet him.
Yeah. I think he might have been typecasted.
Yeah, every film I have to pay for sex. I don't understand this.
He was in Bonfire of the Vanities. God, I don't remember him from there.
I don't remember him in that. It's been a while. But so when she refuses, they decide, well, we'll learn her, and they torture her with a soldering iron.
Yeah, and one of those large tool soldering irons. And
they drag her into the red room. There's like some, just hang some handcuffs on the wall. There you go. It's a dungeon. And in the foreground, very prominently displayed, is a nice big jar of Vaseline.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
And I don't understand the logic of dipping the soldering iron in the Vaseline.
The only way I would explain that is that it looked cool when it made smoke. The burning, sizzling sound. That's the only thing. Because hopefully nobody on the set says, yeah, no, you want to put it in the Vaseline because it's like, no. It's going to look cool. That's it. That's the only thing I can go by.
When you have a burning implement, you don't lube it. It just seems, it's...
Who knows? Maybe it scars better with the Vaseline. Who knows?
Well, the problem is the camera lingers on it so long that it gives you the time to look at it and go, yeah, that lube's just evaporating right off of that. That's not having any effect whatsoever. Why did they bother doing that? They hang on it too long. Yeah. It goes from that looks cool to, I don't think that's practical. It gives you too much time to think about it. Now, we're going to come to the part you were just talking about. Yeah. So Ginty finds out from the girl what happened. He comes back. Probably the most original line he ever gives in the film says, hey, so I got some chicken to sell. You hungry? I was like, I get it. He wants to sell me underage boys for prostitution. Come on in, sir.
Come on in.
Now, he takes the I guess the brothel manager, or I don't know what we would call him, and he pimp. He puts him in a room, covers him with lighter fluid, and sets him on fire. As he's doing it, as you mentioned in the Blu-ray release, there's like 3 pictures on the wall of like naked people or what have you in some form of undress, and one of them is blurred out.
Our copy, anyway, the one that we reviewed.
I found the unblurred copy.
You did. Now
YouTube has the entire film to watch. I just linked it tonight on Facebook.
Oh, nice.
And it's the VHS version. I've already taken a screenshot of that and blown it up and put it on the Facebook page. If you want to look right now,
I do,
because I can't figure out what the hell it is. Because
here's the thing: somebody online said that it's supposedly just a close up of some dude's leg. That it's not a close up of a penis.
I can't tell what it is. Maybe you're a better man than I if you can figure it out, because it could be a chicken leg. It could be like, to me it looks like a midget in a Dr. Seuss hat. It could be a lot of things. It could be a nose.
To blur that, yeah, that's stupid. To blur that, you can't even tell what the fuck it is. But I can see how it might be a leg because of the way it bends.
Or an arm, but an arm bends like that too. I don't know why.
Yeah.
No matter what you say,
it kind of looks like surrealism art.
It looks like a dolly sketch.
I was just going to fucking say a dolly sketch. You son of a bitch.
I win.
You win. Yeah. I don't know what the fuck that is. It could be a chicken wing. Like you said.
It really could.
It's almost like the MPAA said, what is this picture on the wall? And someone said, I don't know. I think we put it in there. I think it's someone's penis. Oh, that needs to be blurred. Well, we're not sure. Well, now that you said it might be, it's got to be blurred. If they had just said that is some dude's leg, it probably wouldn't have been blurred in the Blu-ray rip.
I
or
would
the,
almost
the
believe
Blu-ray disc.
I could almost believe that they resubmitted it for an MPAA rating again, and someone said, "Yeah, that looks like a penis. You can't have that in there." I could
But you know
almost
what?
see that.
The very next shot has the police chief and a reporter walking like into frame,
Oh,
and
yeah.
there's nothing but naked dudes on the back, and one of them has like some huge erection.
And
They all all genitalia is exposed, but one dude has like huge erection, and you know what? You know it's some naked dude, not like this picture.
And let's not ignore that there's also a burned corpse on
yeah.
full display as well.
And if you notice in that one shot, I don't know if it's purpose or if it's just some great timing, but there's smoke that comes up right from his genitalia, just like this little whiff of smoke.
I do not give them credit for that being on purpose.
Yeah, so I don't know.
You know what? How much you want to bet it actually is a Dolly sketch, and they just couldn't get the copyrights to show it.
You know what we should do? We should turn it upside down. Reverse it upside down.
Now it looks like a penis.
Now it looks like a penis.
No,
now it looks like no.
Now I need to bring up briefly. But he kills what's his name, David Lippman, and then when the cops come later, said, "Who's that guy?" He was some senator from New Jersey. So, of course he was.
Yeah, there's a couple of references to Jersey, like the mobster, the meat mobster. He's from Englewood, New Jersey. No,
yeah, none of them are good references. We don't.
No.
It's an I hate New York movie, and you know what? I really don't like New Jersey either. I even love the fact that during the scene where you have Ginty walking through Times Square and people just like touching him, and him was like, yeah, just
coming through,
cringing, just
Don't
cringing
touch
at
me.
the sea of humanities walking through, and then they do a far shot of Times Square, and right across the little marquee is the "I Love New York" logo.
Right.
And like probably the most genius part of the film. It's just yeah, that sums it up right there. The city sucks. But what I wanted to point out is I'm pissed off because since we're talking about fire, when he sets that guy in fire, we have two scenes where they use fire, but when he has the flamethrower and he threatens the guy at the beginning, and he says, "Tell me where your friends are." So, they're at the street thing. He's like, "I'm going to come back if you're lying." And then he goes there, and then they show them there, and they're and Disco Inferno is the song.
Yeah.
And you're like, "Oh, haha, that's funny because he's going to burn them now." But they didn't bring the flamethrower.
No.
Why go through the trouble of making that link and then not following through with it?
It's got to be one of those things where they had him playing around with a flamethrower, probably intended to do things, and decided that he was either too dangerous or maybe, I can't imagine they didn't have the budget, but they said, you know what? Let's put it on the poster anyway, because it's cool, and we'll get away with it.
It definitely has the feel of one of those types of films that were rewritten a lot as it was being filmed.
Yeah.
You really get that feeling.
They're at the dinner table at the Homestead, New York's oldest steakhouse. That's what it said. I wonder if that place even still exists. But well, what's funny is, the one guy is talking to his chick, and he pulls out a breadstick, and he breaks it in half for some reason. I'm watching. I'm like, why did he bother breaking it in half? Just take a fucking bite out of it.
He's making a point, Joey.
He's making a point. No, I think what he was doing in that moment, he was trying to act. It's just a big stupid thug. Now the scene is on where he drugs him, and you're right. It's like he
just gets out of the garbage can. Well, that would have been again. If I'm remaking the film, I'm making it that he was there all day waiting for this guy to come. So when he gets out, like used paper towels and like it's just shit like come out with him. He's covered in filth and wet napkins and.
And at what point did he think he's gonna have to go to the bathroom at some point? It's like, what if he has a great bladder? You're waiting in a garbage can for nothing.
Definitely not. Definitely doesn't take the time to stake it out. It makes you appreciate films like The Punisher, the remake.
Oh, they do show how he gets out. He goes out through the window in the bathroom.
You know what? I apologize. I forgot that part, and I still call bullshit on that though.
Oh yeah, Because the
That makes
bodyguards...
sense.
Yeah, right. The bodyguard's right outside the door.
Now, okay, another example of something missing from the film. We know at one point we get the name the Exterminator. Another example of how this shit was written last minute, most likely, because it's a voiceover radio show or a television show where you're just listening to the newscasters. This note was delivered to us, and it's the streets are going to be rid of the scum of the earth. I am the Exterminator. So he named himself the Exterminator,
Yes,
and everyone just went with it.
Yeah, because they probably, were watching the film in the editing room, and it's like, yeah, I don't know. They just start calling him the Exterminator, and we don't have a reason why. We need voiceover.
Definitely one of those fix it in post moments. Definitely.
Oh, yeah. Now, the thing is, too, with the bodyguard situation, that scene is on now where he's hanging above the meat grinder. And he says that his two bodyguards and his chick, they all went home. What? What are these guys? It's like, he went to the bathroom, he never came out. Let's get the fuck out of here. It's like, what's going on? What do I pay you guys for?
Call the cops or anything? Or
That's just poor writing right there, too.
Yeah, it's just...
This is the mob boss. He obviously controls meat trade in the whole goddamn country because the government's coming to him to lower prices. And you just walk away? He doesn't come out of the bathroom? And you don't think that's a problem?
You know what? I can even see, like, who plays that character? Tony...
Yeah,
that's Chicken Pimp. I don't know. Gino? Was that Gino? It's an Italian name, so I'm assuming that was him.
Well, yeah. No, it's Gino Pontavini. Hey.
Okay. So the actor Dick Bichelli. I can
that guy is still alive.
I believe it. I can see him hanging there and like actually saying to like the director or some like Glickenhaus or somebody, hey, wait a minute. If he got me out of that, how come there's nobody looking for me? I mean, wouldn't they come here looking for me? It's my place. I mean, what is that? Oh, that's a good point. Can we just get some dialogue written real quick? Yeah, I'm going to say they ran away. So you can, what? I mean, okay, whatever. I'm hanging up here. It's getting soil. Let's continue. You can almost see that. Are you the only person that got very confused when, I think around this part, it's before the chicken hawk scene where we meet the detective
right
in the hospital talking to his girlfriend, and there's a guy wrapped entirely in bandages.
That's supposed to be him, right?
No, he's dead. They ground him up. There's no fucking way that's him. They say he was dead on the news story.
Oh, they did? Okay, I must have missed it.
That's some other guy. It's got to be because they put him in a meat grinder and ground him up. There's no cast for that. This guy's like on a full body cast where you can't even like see eyes and shit. I'm assuming it's a burn victim, but there's no burn scene, which makes me believe that they filmed that. And then before they said, you know what? I don't think we can use the flamethrower anymore because Stan got hurt and the guy that,
he's going to sue us if we have it in the film, so we can't use it. You know what? That makes more sense.
Yes, I mean...
And they said, you know what? We spent, I don't know how many thousands of dollars on the burn scene with the flamethrower. We're still putting it on the poster, goddammit, because that shit looks cool.
Right. But we have the scene where he's like, I'm going to interrogate that guy. I said, but who is it? Is it just some other guy he attacked that we don't know about? Are you not telling us everything that happens now? Are we only seeing the highlights of his murder spree? What the fuck? Come on. How about make just the whole movie somebody reading the newspapers? Oh, look, and this is when he stabbed the guy.
And I like it when the meat mobster, because the scene just happened, he's screaming at the camera. He's looking right at the camera going, get me out of here! Are you talking to me, sir? Because I'm watching the movie. You're looking right at me.
You see, this is where he pleads to the audience, and the audience has to soul search. It's not a moment. I don't know if it's intended to be, but it's not.
Talking to me? Are you talking to me?
Now, the most absurd twist in the film happens when... Now, the mobster angle is great, because, okay, he's going to take on organized crime now, and that organized crime's going to top of him. No. What happens is, apparently it's 2 months away from an election, and the White House is concerned that some guy killing people in New York City might sway the national election
Yeah,
away
right.
from whatever party's in power.
What a completely idiotic plot point.
It's like something I would have written in high school. It's like, yeah, the CIA gets in there. The CIA doesn't involve itself with internal matters. The CIA is pretty much external. They're fact finding. You're thinking of the FBI. No, the CIA gets involved because they're spooks. What? Yeah. They send a CIA agent to make sure that the police don't kill him. Is it by being what the fuck's going on? What, really? Reagan or whoever sent this guy down? Fucking
yes. Yes. Things are getting crazy. Yes.
Who was that guy? It was like CIA agent Shaw, Patrick Farrelly. I don't recognize him. He looked like a skinny.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was like Albert Finney on a diet.
Yeah.
For a split second, I thought it was Albert Finney, and I got my hopes up. It's like, oh, good, because this will be stupid. But no.
Albert Finney. Yeah, I'm not gonna go through the trouble.
No, it's Patrick Farrelly, CIA agent Shaw. That's yeah. So for some reason the CIA wants to make sure that it's not like now, like if you go back, you know what it is too. Again, ripping off from Death Wish. In Death Wish, the mayor doesn't want this guy going to trial. He just wants him to disappear. The Exterminators, not the mayor. Screw it. The president wants him gone. Really? Okay.
Yes. What did they say? The White House would be pleased. Or will be pleased.
Yes.
Yes, that's stupid.
So you want him apprehended? Oh, I wouldn't quite say that.
You know what my favorite scene in the film is?
The whole scene is, I'm going to say, that whole scene where the CIA guy is talking to, I don't know, fucking, I don't know, the mayor? I don't know who the hell that was. But it's so dripping with innuendo that it's not even needed. It's just like, it's like, I think it should be taken care of. Should I just make sure he's dead? Is that what you're saying? Can we just like, we can short? You could have called me. Why am I in your office? You could have called me. It would have been a shorter conversation. I'm sorry, I cut you off.
You know what's funny about the meat grinding scene? I'm watching it again real quick. He could have very easily grabbed onto the side and climbed out.
His hands aren't tied.
Yeah, his hands aren't tied. He could have very easily grabbed onto the side. Oh, and they cut right to the hospital scene, and there's some dude with a rag on his head with a blood stain on it. There's a dude with a blood stain right in the middle of his stomach, like he got stabbed, and he's just walking around waiting to get in because it's New York. Like, that's how crazy shit is around here. Some dude with head trauma, some other dude stabbed in the stomach. They're just walking around the waiting room. When can I get in here? I need stitches.
It's not even the waiting room. It's like yeah, it's just insane.
But no, one of my favorite scenes in the film, maybe even my favorite scene, is when he's cooking a hot dog over his desk with two forks and an electrical with the light. It's just a lamp fixture with the wiring soldered to two forks.
I mentioned that to you when you challenged it to me. The only thing I remembered of the film was that.
Oh, really? Why don't I remember you saying that last?
I don't know. It was like a few weeks ago. You know, we've had a 2-week hiatus.
3 weeks.
But yeah, that's the one thing the only thing that really stuck in my head as a child from that was just wow, he's cooking a hot dog on forks. That's kind of cool.
Well, there's a dude all wrapped up in bandages, and even go through the trouble to zoom in on him a little bit. Like, this guy was important a minute ago.
In a previous cut, maybe. Now, I'm gonna jump ahead because I'm not sure how much else we want to milk on this on. Okay. And now they showed us they have a couple of, again, the pacing is quick in some areas, but then we take the time to watch Ginty drilling holes in bullets and putting mercury in the tips, and waxing them shut and all this, and very delicately going through each bullet, and then they show him take out his kit of military stuff that he has left over from the war, hand grenades, all nicely put in foam, and the other scene. So there's all these preparations for war scenes, and they do the same thing with the cop where he goes and gets his case of goodies out, and he has like a shotgun in there with 6 shells, and some other stuff. If you pause that and look, the cop also has a hypodermic in there.
Oh, really? I didn't notice.
Yeah, it's in the bottom of the case. The cop's got a fucking like Dexter hypodermic in there. Something shady going on with this cop.
They all got the same training in the Nam.
Really? They train them in Nam to walk around with hypodermic needles, and there's a vial of something in there that he's gonna pump into somebody. I don't think it's his insulin. I think that you don't put that in your gun case. No.
Yeah, I can't have oranges today. Yeah, it's just too much sugar. That's it'd be great if there's the chicken hawk guy. Is it me, or does he kind of look a little like Jose?
I think
he looks a little like Jose.
Then I'll agree. Why would I argue about that?
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, there's another scene with the guy that he didn't kill in the beginning beats up an old lady, so the vigilante steals some guy's motorcycle.
Oh, right.
But then he keeps it, like he's still riding it around.
Exactly, he keeps it. He's riding all over the fucking place with it. There's no APB.
No one
there's
reported
nothing.
It stolen.
No. And the guy goes out of his fucking way because the ghetto ghouls beat the shit out of a little old lady, and he's like, "What the hell's going on here?" And then Ginty comes out and just like makes it like he's gonna kill him and steals his bike. What a dick!
My bike now.
Right.
They really should have played it more. Again, if there was real writing involved in this movie, the remake, he just has to show where he's actually losing his mind. Because then, like, so he drives the motorcycle up to his apartment. He can tell the cops are watching. So he leaves and he calls the one cop from a phone booth. Not sure how he got his number. Did I forget that part? How we got the cop's number?
No. No, they don't. Yeah. No, there was almost laundry done tonight, but I told Mayor we were recording. I go, "What the hell are you gonna do?"
He calls. So he calls the cop. I forget how he gets his number, but he calls him from a payphone in the garbage dump, and tells him to meet him at a crane at the shipyard.
Crane number 5.
Crane number 5, and then he sets up this elaborate, road flare setup and tricks him. All just to turn himself in. Right. Instead of just saying, yeah, I'm going to turn myself in.
I want to talk to you first, though.
He didn't even talk to him. He said, now you know what it's like to be a victim. Yeah, I'm turning myself in. Was that it? That's all I wanted to do. I wanted to show you what it was like I just wanted to throw some fire at you, shoot at you once, and go boo.
He's a police chief. He might know. He sees crazy shit all the time.
The film has so much potential, and they just can't get out of that block of, okay, we have to rip off these other films, and it's never really. There's potential there for some great madness, and it never comes through.
Nope.
That's one reason why I want to see the sequel, because I want to see what 4 Years did.
Yeah, I bet it's atrocious. I bet it's so fucking bad.
I've read that Mario Van Peebles designs the costume for all the street gang people. That right there is the tip. It makes me want to watch it.
Oh my god!
Let alone the fact that the fucking
police chief
Christopher George comes back as a totally different character.
Wow, that's fucking terrible.
But I died in the first one, right? Yeah, I don't know about that. Here's what we're going to do.
Wait
Your name's Jones now. Oh, okay.
Well, he must... Wait a minute. You're sure he's in Exterminator 2?
Yeah.
Because he died in 1983.
Am I getting the wrong name then?
No, it's Christopher George. Detective James Dalton. He was in Enter the Ninja the following year. He was in Graduation Day, Fantasy Island, Pieces, and Mortuary in 1983, and then he died.
Everything I read said that he comes up in the sequel.
Do you think maybe it's shit they filmed for the Exterminator and they cut into the second one?
I will solve this to make sure that I'm not talking about the wrong person. Blah blah blah.
What did he die from? Heart attack? But he looked like he was in such great shape. Probably
No, I got the wrong
3 packs
person.
a day. It's the wrong person?
It's Irwin Keyes.
Irwin Keyes. Who's he?
He's the fucking big guy.
He's who?
He's one of the fucking goons.
Oh, God.
He's the
And he
one
comes-
he's trying. I apologize. I read that totally wrong and got it in my head. He's the dopey looking guy from like every other movie. The bald guy.
Don't sell yourself short. If he was still alive, he'd be an Exterminator too. He because they allude that he spoiler that he dies at the end. He might not have died. They might have wrote it that he was a rush to the hospital. His girlfriend, nurse, doctor lady fixed him up. And I bet he would be an Exterminator too if he didn't die a year before the film was made.
No, that's my mistake. I should have looked more into that. I read one thing and then thought something different. But no, it's the fucking bald guy, big goofy looking gangster. He's one of the
guy that breaks the breadstick that I was talking about.
Yeah, he's one of the two guys. No, he's one of the two guys that drags into the basement, isn't he?
Is he a ghetto ghoul? No.
Yeah, he's a ghetto ghoul.
Oh, all right. Never mind. I thought he was somebody
He's
else.
the guy that shoots himself in the head in fuck. He's been in like 80 goddamn movies.
No, I know who you're talking about now.
I need to think of like the film that everybody would recognize him from here.
Yeah, he had terrible makeup and
guys in fucking everything.
what's the movie? What's the fucking movie?
The movie, Motorama, nobody's seen. Guilty as Charged, I love, but nobody else has seen it.
Zapped. He was in Zapped.
He was a busboy in Friday the 13th. I totally missed that. Private Eyes, again, I love that film, but no one else has ever seen it. The Warriors, he was a policeman, but that's not anything.
You know what I think? There's nothing here that's sticking out as what anyone would know him from other than us.
He's just if you watch enough films, he's one of those guys where, oh, him again.
Yeah, he's in there.
Yeah, but there's nothing where there's no quintessential him film. Damn it. That's intolerable cruelty, by the way. That's what I was trying to think of. That's what he shoots himself accidentally because he's using the asthma inhaler. The comic scene there.
Here's something. He was 28 when he did Exterminator.
He looked young, yeah.
No, he didn't. If you told me he was 48 in Exterminator, I'd believe you.
He grew into his age. Leave him alone.
They refer to him as ugly in the film.
Well, yeah.
He's gang member. Yeah, real ugly. He was in House of a Thousand Corpses.
Oh, he was.
I remember him in that.
In the opening, right?
Yeah. No, not the opening.
In the opening, right?
Was it not in the...
In the very opening, in the prologue.
You're talking about in the store?
Yeah.
No, it was what? It was
yeah,
what's his
he's
face?
one of the guys that robs the place.
Is he one of the guys that robs the place?
He's one of the guys that robs the place. I'm almost positive. I haven't seen it in a while.
Okay. Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Now, but we sidetracked, of course.
We did a little bit.
I mean, do I just challenge you to the sequel and get it over with? Because if we had
did the sequel go theatrical? That's the number one thing. I can't imagine that it didn't.
I believe I checked and it did. Not much went direct. These kind of films didn't go direct to video in 1984.
Okay.
I mean, in these days,
yeah.
This kind of quality is direct to video. In those days, this kind of quality was, we need to get it in theaters.
Let's see. Exterminator. God, is Ginty still acting? Oh, he's fucking dead.
What?
He's dead.
Ginty's dead?
He died in 2009 at age 60.
Yeah, but he was still working up.
Goddamn cancer, man.
He did a lot of TV shows, but he directed a lot of stuff too.
nickname, the paper chase guy.
Exactly. Told you. You know where he got that nickname?
Where do you get that nickname?
Paper chase.
Paper chase. He was in Loverboy.
Yeah, I mean,
Right, Exterminator
really
2. God.
It's really your just it's almost like your template vigilante film.
Same cover. Some dude in a well, he's wearing a full body hazmat suit with a flamethrower, lighting shit on fire.
Now I've got two choices. Now there's actually a lot to go from this.
Okay.
But originally, before I started looking more and more at the sequel, there's also the film Vigilante, which is pretty much okay. This is a vigilante film. It's that same kind of thing. I just think why not? We should just do the sequel.
You want to do the sequel?
I know it's kind of obvious, and you know what? If we had been thinking ahead of time, we would have done both in one show.
Yeah.
But let's just do Exterminator 2, get that out of the way. There was no number 3, so we're good there.
This is true. All right. Well, what was your other choice?
Vigilante.
Oh, Vigilante? No, let's do Exterminator 2. I have to see it now. Because I never saw it. I never saw it. I only ever saw this one as a kid.
You know what? I think I remember seeing part of it because there's garbage trucks involved.
I'll only know if I saw a part of it when I watch it. Because I have no recollection of Exterminator 2. I'm
going to say now that I remember a scene where he's keeping a guy prisoner in a garbage truck.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that's
okay.
That's in my head, like it's floating out there. So you've seen this before. That's all I can think of though. So,
okay,
let's see where that goes. And as far as rating on IMDb, it's currently 5.5.
That's a little high.
I would say at least a 5.
No, 5. I'm okay with 5. And in some instances, I might actually give it a 4.
You know what? I'm going to say 4.
But it's fun because of how bad it is.
It is, but it's not
fun
enough.
But the pacing, and it's cut poorly, and it's acted poorly. 4 might be more appropriate.
I say give it a 4 for the body cast guy and for the goddamn date nights.
And for fucking holding out, for the flamethrower cover on the poster. The guy gets flicked in the arm with fire. He could have easily fucking grabbed a match and did the same thing.
Unacceptable. 4 it is.
Total 4 it is. All right. Well, there you have it.
Now, and just the highest score amongst viewers is a 6 at 19.5%.
Wow.
Highest demographic at 5.9 is females age 18 to 29. Lowest demographic is 4.9, tied, males and, no, not tied, 4.9 males under 18.
That's right. All right, so you can go to our website, and you can download all of our shows there. You can listen to the show live through live stream. We still do that, even though we kind of hate them. You can leave us voicemail at 908-514-4470. You can email us at themovieguys@moviesucktastic.com. You can also go to iTunes and download our shows as well. You can leave reviews when you do it. You can also go to our Facebook page at facebook.com/moviesucktastic. Go to our Tumblr page at moviesucktastic.tumblr.com. And you can go to our... That's kind of it. We have a YouTube page with videos on there. We have our video podcast. This is a video podcast. I have tons of videos. YouTube is a bunch of dicks. Every time I upload one, it takes a month for you to see it. So I kind of get discouraged and I don't put them up. But I literally have like 70 episodes of video that need to get posted. And we're going to flood them. We are going to flood it.
Not today.
Definitely. Not today, but I will. And that kind of does it.
And we have the app. Go to Google Play and do a search for Moviesucktastic.
If you do anything, download the app. It's fucking free. Why not?
And you can access everything he just talked about through the app.
That's right. That's the whole reason why we made it.
Exactly.
It's awesome. So definitely go ahead and do that.
So are we.
We are. I'll agree.
And remember, if you're lying, I'll be back.
That nigger was my best friend!
Oh.
Probably my favorite line from Ginty. Anyway, we'll talk to you next week.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Bye-bye.
Bye.